So I'm talking to John Doerr of Klein and Perkins. So what do you think of the device?
Well, I think Steve and Apple have nailed it. This is a really important contribution, and whether it's for games or for video or for email or for photos, I'm particularly excited about what it could do in education and with textbooks. So I think it has the potential to transform American education, worldwide education. Forgive me.
You know, one thing that struck me was how good an e-reading experience they've built into this. Do you think it redefines how the books are thought of in the future?
Excuse me?
How the books are visualized in the future? Do you think that changes that? Like, do you think it...
Well, I think books will come alive. They'll be augmented by video, and so they'll be more fluid. I think what's key to the interface on this is the fluidity. At one point I asked, will there be a stylus for such a tablet? And Apple said, God gave you 10 styli. They're your fingers. It's very exciting.
Yeah, I'm talking to Josh Quittner, my former boss, and currently spearheading Time Magazine or Time Inc.'s efforts into digital domain as far as magazines are concerned. Did I get that right, or did I make it?
That's pretty much right. We've been working for about 6 months on a variety of different prototypes that anticipate the tablet world, the invasion of the tablets. And we've been really waiting for this one because, as usual, Apple is often the front runner in the technology parade, and so we wanted to see what their tablet looked like.
So what do you make of this device? Do you think this is the second coming of the magazine business?
I don't know. I mean, I would like to say it is, and we've all been really excited about that possibility, but I don't know. I mean, it really depends on a lot of things. It depends on whether we can take some of the prototypes that we've made and actually start producing them and make them as cool in reality on a week-to-week basis as they are in a laboratory. The thing that really amazed me was if you look at the iPad, it looks almost exactly like what we kind of feverishly fantasized when we did our Sports Illustrated demo. Go look at the device that the Wonder Factory concocted for that demo, and it looks exactly like it.
It seems like you're a little disappointed in the final product. Is it because we've seen endless speculation about the device that all features and everything looks so predictable to us now?
Yeah, I think that part of the, sometimes the Apple thing works really, really well when nobody has a clue what's coming out. In this case, we had 1 million monkeys typing for the last 3 months, and they came up with, perhaps randomly, every conceivable permutation of what this tablet could look like. Anything from a hologram to an LED tattoo. But most people basically thought that it would be a giant iPod, an iPod on steroids. Even I said that months ago. And that's pretty much what we got. We got a giant iPod Touch. Now, not that there's anything wrong with that. That's going to work pretty well. And I think for media companies, it will give us a chance to try and extend and create a digital product that people might be willing to pay for again.
I think the power resource, the horsepower of the machine, the visual capabilities, I think it actually commands for redefining and reimagining the whole idea of business, of magazines and media and information. And I think that is why perhaps a lot of us are feeling a little underwhelmed because we don't know what to imagine just for this device.
Right. I mean, the ball's in our court. We got the slate that we wanted, the blank slate that we wanted, and now it's up to us to write beautiful things on it that hopefully people will be willing to pay for. But I'll tell you one thing, after imagining this stuff and playing with it, if I were coming out of journalism school right now, I would definitely be trying to think of how a magazine, without any preconceived ideas. I mean, you don't need page turns, you don't need a spine or any of that stuff. It's just a collection of content would work on this kind of a device. I think that advertising is going to be phenomenal on a big screen device. Full screen ads that are going to be like interactive commercials. You could probably create free content that's entirely ad driven, and the difference between the web and this is advertising will really and truly work.
Will Timing do many of his magazines for this device now?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Will you guys at Time be developing apps for this device as
well?
well?
We've got a number of iPhone apps, a number of our magazines, Sports Illustrated, Time, EW. Everybody's got iPhone apps, but we'll definitely be working on products that we hope will play on the iPad.
Thanks, Josh.
My pleasure, Om.
You're seeing into software, and there's a software they made to animate the device, but there's a software that we make that it's a perfect thing for viewing all manner of media, which is really just another form of software. There's not that much gadget to it. There's one button, off you go, and I think it could renew a bit of romance. People want to touch what they want to learn about over and over. They want to get their hands on it, go like this. And reading, I think it's really, really important. I think it was smart to just leave the Kindle laying there while he talked about it. I thought, okay, here's a brick, here's a window, over and over. He said nice things, but just to leave that sitting there, I thought was...
Do you think this impacts Kindle in a big way?
Well, it's great for us because we produce content, and it would be wonderful to have two large companies fighting over what we do. And again, content, maybe it won't have tremendous value, but it'll have some value that people will begin competing for.
What about the media companies? Do you think it saves them now? There's a lot of talk about that.
When you're a drowning man, everything looks like a lifesaver. So we all say, oh, here it is. The cavalry is coming over the hill. Who knows?
Thank you, David.